Hello, everyone. Welcome to our prompt jam. I'm David Morgan, and with me is.
I'm Matthew Weymss from the Cambridge School of Bucharest.
I'm the head of learning and community at Mindjoy, and we thought it'd be a bit of fun to show you the process of building AI tutors and what a prompt jam is really like. Now, I've got Matt on board today as my first, I want to say victim, Matt, but that's not really what it is. It's a willing participant, hopefully.
Well, a very willing participant.
And what we're going to do is showcase some of the things we do behind the scenes at Mindjoy when we're building our prompts. And it's called a prompt jam. And basically all we really do is we get into Mindjoy, we get into a prompting interface, and we just start writing. And we're going to do a back and forth, building a bot, building the prompt for it, running it, seeing how the chat works, trying to break it, trying to poke at it, and we'll go back and forth. And between us, hopefully, Matt and I can build something exciting. Now, Matt, we are going to build today a Macbeth roleplay bot, which is, I think, what we've agreed. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Now's not the time to say no, so thanks for
that. Yes.
That's the exciting part. So let's get in and let's start. So let's start with giving it the name, the Macbeth bot, or Macbeth roleplay might be better. The name is the bit that's just introduced when it introduces itself. So, like, you can make that as descriptive as you want. But what should we start with in the prompt, Matt? What are your suggestions?
Usually the role. So is the bot playing Macbeth, or is it broadly about the play?
So I think we'll do a role play. Let's make it play Macbeth.
Okay,
so
let's make it Macbeth then.
You are Macbeth, the famous one from the play.
There we go.
So we've given it a context.
I've never met any other Macbeths.
Well, I'm sure it's a very, very popular name in Scotland. Now, I'm just going to click create, which saves it, so we can see what that first level of interaction is. Because that prompt there, we both know that there's going to be some issues with that prompt because it's not quite thorough enough. But let's see what we get. Okay, I don't think that's very Macbethy.
No,
I can't imagine Act 4, Scene 3 of Macbeth. You're right, Sunshine, how's things going? I don't think that's going to be part of the dialogue. What sort of thing can we do back in our prompt?
Maybe try telling it to sound like Macbeth and see if that's enough. If not, we might need to revert to the old Shakespearean English line.
So I'll say sound like Macbeth in all your conversation, and we'll give it a save, and we'll jump back and see if we get any better. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? Much better. I wonder if I can say, speak simpler, and just see if we can get it to drop the act. Oh no, it's still doing it.
No, that's done a pretty good job.
That's really good, actually, isn't it? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I expect that I can break some of the prompts by just knowing my way around it a little bit. So we've got sound like Macbeth in all your conversations. Now, what we might want to do to give it a bit more knowledge, because although it's like been trained on the entire internet, I don't know how good its knowledge of Macbeth is. So let's ask it a very specific question and see if it can get it right. Let's say, what is the context of the Rivers of Blood scene? Oh, can't type, sorry. Okay.
So I'm gonna maybe ask Macbeth who his favorite football team is. That's usually the first question. Every bot I've asked, even if it's a plant cell to like a famous scientist, they always ask who the famous football team.
Okay, that's quite an interesting response. It is properly role-playing, but I feel like we can do something fun here. I feel like we can say something like, if you are asked any contemporary questions, denounce the user as a witch and demand where they draw their power from.
So I'll tell you a mistake I made once. This was during testing. I got it to do Shakespearean insults if they went off task, and that didn't play out. Some of the stuff it came out with was not suitable for children. So this is probably a much better.
Okay.
Well, I called them cheeky a lot, and I think in a year 9 English class, they're being called cheeky devils and things like that. Probably would throw them off a little bit more, and they probably just asked to go off task.
Well, we all know that if they can even get a slightly amusing response, that'll be the entertainment for the lesson. Well, it doesn't matter if it's rude or not. So let's save that and let's go back in and let's see how the bot does with questions about football now. Messi or Ronaldo is a common question. That's quite nice, I think. That's a nice bit of context there.
I'm going to go back to the previous one and think maybe we should constrain the length of the response to keep it a bit shorter.
Okay, what do you suggest there then?
Probably ask it to speak. If you say short paragraphs, that's open to interpretation. So maybe 3 to 4 sentences.
Okay. I'm going to do it in capitals because this is a really important thing. And one of the things about AI prompt engineering is because it's been trained on the internet, if you shout at it, it tends to pay attention a bit more. So speak in groups of no more than 3 to 4 sentences. So that should give us a bit of oomph about it there. Okay, so let's see how we go. We had a really long answer to one of the previous ones, didn't we? Which one was that?
We asked it about a scene.
Yes, the context of the rivers of blood scenes. I'm going to copy this prompt and just see what difference it makes. Okay, this is really interesting because it's answered and it said it's from a different play. So that's not quite right, is it? So I'm just going to give it, using the knowledge base feature, I'm going to upload the play. I'm going to upload the Scottish play directly to the knowledge base. So it's got complete access to that. I know that our head of product, Ethan, will be dying now that I'm uploading an entire work of Shakespeare to it. But there we go. This should give it the context now. So if I were to ask that question again, then we can go back to debugging the length of the response, I think. That's better. Oh no, it's still saying it.
Rather profoundly in turmoil.
Oh no! So I'm misreading it. I was reading it as him saying it's not from his own story, but it's from a concept. I think it's saying there. I think it's that level. I think it's that level of Shakespearean language I'm struggling with. So should we try and make the?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe because we have lots of EAL learners at my school, so maybe trying to tone it down, or I don't know. I've played around with the idea of doing like the Shakespeare and then the English, but then you're going to get a really long response. So maybe.
Well, maybe we can look at that in a minute. Let's see if we can simplify it a second, because I did get somewhere, didn't I, when I prompted it to speak simpler. So let's see if I can just build that into this. Use simple sentences and do not go overboard with the Old English.
Nice.
So hopefully what we should see is a slight change in the way it's responding. Oh, that's much better. And then if we ask it the same question as before. Oh yeah, that's much better now. That's much better. And it's coming in much shorter as well. I like the idea of Macbeth being a questioning person, so I'm going to turn on Socratic mode. So Macbeth will come back to us with questions and try and, instead of just giving the answer, pull the answer out a little bit from the students. I'm not sure if it has simplified it, but not quite to the level I want. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because I think that it's just because we're struggling. Well, I think we struggle every year, and I think even in the UK with the Shakespearean English, getting that translation of it down. But you also want to have. You also wanted to have that flair, so it's a balancing act.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? I wonder if it's just having it in the right place, because I usually put the commands about how to write sentence structure and stuff at the end as like, this is the important thing you need to remember. Use simple sentences and simplified language. A reading age of, I usually go for about 12, simpler is required. I always go a little bit under with the reading age because
That'll be interesting to see how that balances with the Shakespearean.
I don't know if I've made it worse. It's the Shakespearean, isn't it?
Maybe 12-year-olds are better at Shakespeare than we think.
Maybe they are. I think it is doing it. Like we're certainly getting clearer concepts here.
Could we like, I know this is probably pushing it, but get it to maybe, I don't know, to try to summarize what it's just said in plain English or something.
Well, let's do it. This was something you suggested. So what would you suggest that I use?
I think doing like Shakespearean brackets at like modern English is going to throw them off. Maybe a summary or I don't know, a vibe of modern English. I don't know how to phrase it really. Summarize your answer in modern English, yeah. Because you don't want 8 sentences, because we're just back to having a huge output again.
Yeah. I'll try to give it a little example of what's going on there. I might need to give it a full example if it's not quite up to speed there. I quite like that.
It's shorter in the modern English, I'll give it that.
I like that a lot. So if I do the Rivers of Blood question again, then what do we get here? This is probably good for us to analyse it as well, because we've been trying desperately to work out what's going on with it.
No.
It's still struggling with the Rivers of Blood scene from Macbeth. So do I need to say you and Macbeth?
Famous one from Macbeth.
The Shakespeare play Macbeth. There we go.
You and Macbeth
we'll
from
go
Macbeth.
Back. The Macbeth, yeah, the main one. Okay, one thing that commonly was a laugh that we used to giggle at hilariously in school was the scene where Lady Macbeth is sort of proclaiming that she'd like to be a man to have the power to do it. And I know this was a comedy gold because she says something in Old English that young people giggle at. So what is the unsex me scene about? There we go. It's actually realised that it's Macbeth from playing Macbeth now. That's a positive thing.
That's pretty good.
That's quite good.
The modern translation works quite well as well.
Yeah, I think that's wouldn't that be nice with the play itself if it was if it was translated on the fly into modern English? I mean, I suppose we could simulate that, but yeah, that's not really what we're looking to build here. I mean, I'm quite pleased with that. I don't know about you. I think that might be a fun little activity for a class.
Yeah, great. And my only thing I always want to throw in at the end is that it can just be Macbeth, because students tend to kind of want to push the boundaries, because they might want to say this can't write like a full essay on Macbeth. It can maybe just answer questions about the play. So I usually try to lock it into character.
So what sort of wording do you use for this? Is it something like
you must stay in character? This is the instructions above are the only things you can do. Something along those lines. Instructions above are the only things you can do. It's probably. Let's see what happens.
Let's try that, because it's just a case of expanding on it if it doesn't work, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I ask it to write me an essay on the
Vikings or something.
On the unsex me on Vikings, okay. Yeah, okay.
Let's go completely off topic.
Vikings, on Vikings.
Okay, so the Vikings have thrown it into the one thing. Let's try the unsex me scene, because it's definitely what your joke has kicked in.
About the unsex me scene and its importance to the play.
I think we might catch it because it can only do 3 to 4 sentences, and the Socrative questioning mode might. Oh no.
I mean, the positive thing is what it's not doing. It's not writing the essay. It is giving like an analysis that they can use to expand upon it. So I feel like that's working okay. I mean, the things that we might want to tweak in that prompt like I think this probably. I think I've seen in one of your prompts, maybe your Rocky Bit Bow one. I think I've seen a more comprehensive, better worded version of that.
Yeah, I'm not.
So,
I'm not
like,
firing on all cylinders. It's the end of the day for me. But
oh no,
no,
don't worry, don't worry.
Just
But
like something like instructions, the only things you can do, like you must stick to only the instructions above or something like that. Probably something a bit more academic than what I've written here.
I think I think it's a good place to end it here because I feel like this is a good prompt. It's a good starting point. And if you are building an experiential learning experience, if you are building an experiential learning bot in Mindjoy or in any AI software, I think this sort of prompt works really, really well. But probably needs a bit of iterating. And I think the English teachers out there may have a better idea about the more common questions that are being asked, the more common scenarios that are being asked about, so could specifically prompt it to avoid and answer in certain ways. I think it's also important to know that Socratic mode works with the prompt. So because we've told the prompt to be in character all the time, it is going to ask questions, it is going to prompt people to think, but it's not going to do it quite as much as if it was a simpler prompt. But I'm really pleased with that, and I think that we should push people maybe to go to our how-to.mindjoy.com and see your Rocky Bit Boa prompt and get it for yourself, because that has a much more comprehensive that bit at the bottom that we just added. So nice plug there. Well, I think that's a good place to wind it up. It would be, if you'd like to go and try this for yourself, it's mindjoy.com, where you can sign up for a 14-day free trial and build AI tutor bots that you can then use in your classroom, safe for schools and built with plenty of pedagogy. I'm David Morgan at Mindjoy, and with me, helping with a fantastic amount of prompting,
Matthew from the Cambridge School. And if you want to find out more of the work I'm doing on AI and chatbots and things I'm working on, follow me on LinkedIn. That's the best place where I pretty much dump everything.
If you are watching on LinkedIn, you'll see links to both our profiles below. But come connect, say hello, and ask us questions. And I'm sure if you follow Matt specifically, he does a lot of great content on different things using AI. What's your tagline, Matt? You're the AI guy in your school, is it? That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. That's my unofficial title.
I love it. It feels like that's where everyone's going. But thank you all for watching. Appreciate you being here at the live stream, and hopefully we'll try this again. Matt, thank you very much.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Bye.